Queridos amigos, muy buenos días. Gracias por estar con nosotros en su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde Hermosa 1470 AM, 96.9 FM. Les habla Lilia Galindo y me acompaña el doctor Jordan Goines del Distrito Escolar de Lancaster y trajo como invitado a Sam Yuom. Él es director de escuelas comunitarias. Good morning, both. Thank you very much for coming to our program. We miss you. They were long vacation. I feel like I have been so lonely.
It's been a long time since we've been able to. Well, actually, we were here like 2 weeks ago with the superintendent. So I mean, we had some time.
Bueno, estamos aquí con el Distrito Escolar de Lancaster y tenemos al doctor Jordan Goines, que como siempre viene a darnos información de la escuela, y a Sam Yuom. How do you pronounce your name?
Yuom.
Yuom?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, I will practice, I promise.
That's okay.
We can pronounce his name the best community services director that has ever existed on the face of the earth.
No, perfecto. Podemos traducir su nombre como el mejor director de la comunidad de servicios comunitarios del Distrito Escolar de Lancaster. So, tell us a little bit about your function. What is your function in the district? Explain it to us, please.
Great. This is a new department for our Lancaster School District. Community school is a evidence-based whole child approach to education. What that means is that we turn our schools into a community learning hubs where students have access to not just academics, but also to social, emotional health services. We provide after schools programs during summer sessions, during winter sessions. So it's a whole child approach. So our students and our families don't have to go anywhere to get services, which we are really excited about.
Bueno, le estaba yo preguntando cuál es exactamente su función como director de escuelas comunitarias. Dice, bueno, pues este departamento es nuevo y lo que estamos tratando de hacer es incorporar a las escuelas, a las comunidades. Entonces, queremos que las academias, o sea, lo que se les enseña, también ligarlo con cuestiones sociales y emocionales para así apoyar no solamente a los estudiantes, sino a toda la comunidad. Es un programa muy bonito, integral, para incorporar a las escuelas, a las comunidades. So I believe in that way, many parents are going to feel part of the group, no? Everybody works for having better educated children.
That's correct. You hit that on the nail on the head. It's collaborating with the community, making sure that we are actually talking to our students, to our families, to conduct what we call need and asset assessments, so that we can truly determine what are the needs of our families and our community. And based on that, each school, it's going to become a learning community hub where they will be addressing the need of their communities.
Bueno, este es un programa de colaboración entre las escuelas y la comunidad, en donde se trata de incluso evaluar las necesidades y proveer los servicios requeridos para que la comunidad y los estudiantes de la escuela puedan contar con el apoyo necesario para progresar en su educación. Sounds really good. Do you know, for example, I was wondering, do you get social services around? Like, for example, do you work with DPSS or any other agency, mental health, to support everybody?
Yes. Great questions. Here's an example. We partner with BARTS to offer TDAP. We just did that TDAP clinic on Tuesday to offer to our no insurance families so that they can bring their students to get the immunization. We also work with partner with other nonprofit organizations. Last month, we did a Welcome Back backpack event. We had over 2,000 families that showed up to the community event, and we gave away, I think, over 2,000 backpacks, food, diaper, things like that. So we do work closely with the nonprofit organizations to bring resources and to leverage the resources in the community so that our students, our families, like I said earlier, they don't have to go somewhere to access those resources. So we are excited to have this opportunity to bring to our community, and we look forward to continue to strengthen the partnership that we have already established.
Le estaba preguntando si había entonces una colaboración con organizaciones del gobierno, ya sea de cualquier nivel, ¿no? Federal, estatal o local. Y dice que absolutamente se trata de traer todos los servicios que se requieren para que los niños puedan desarrollarse mejor. Y dice que han hecho acuerdos con organizaciones comunitarias que proveen servicios. Dice, por ejemplo, traemos clínicas para que los niños puedan tener vacunas sin costo alguno para todos aquellos que no tienen seguro médico, pues ahí nosotros les proveemos la posibilidad de que se vacunen. Y también dice, recientemente organizamos un evento de bienvenida de regreso a la escuela, donde entregamos aproximadamente 2,000 mochilas a los niños que viven en estas áreas. Así es que se trata de un programa de colaboración entre todos para que los niños puedan salir adelante. Dr. Goines, how do you see this situation?
So this is the work that in my mind, particularly in terms of education, this is the work we should have been doing, that we should be doing for years. The benefit to this now is that there's a significant amount of funding that's backing it up, which is why we've been able to push in and be able to provide for a director of community schools and a director of community and family services. That's why we've been able to start the process of really building those systems that really need to be taking place at the school sites that are going to really wrap around a student and really show them the love that the community actually has. And on top of that, build the student based upon the vision for the community that the community has for what the community can be. So, for instance, I give an example at like a Sierra Elementary or Sierra Elementary School. This school is heavily inundated with students who are very tactile. They like to move their hands. They like to play. They like to do things. They're very physical. They want to do those kinds of things. So we should be looking at that evidence and looking at those pieces and saying, hey, you know what? We can address the needs of those students by making sure that they're getting those activities after school. And on top of that, keeping them engaged in the process of being in school and giving them a reason outside of math, science, social studies, language arts to actually be in school. Because let's be honest, those are fun subjects. I loved social studies. I was a history teacher. I would have taught history and been an archaeologist had I not done my job, the job that I'm doing now. However, I much rather would have played a bass and have been playing jazz in a jazz band. And that was more my passion than even the history that I was learning in school.
Well, you can go to play at night.
Oh, I still do. Catch me at the. I'm fine.
Bueno, le estaba yo preguntando cómo ve este programa. Dice, bueno, pues que es un programa que en su opinión debería de haber estado funcionando desde hace mucho tiempo. Desafortunadamente no había los fondos ni se había pensado en semejantes cosas. Pero ahora que tienen fondos suficientes para respaldar todos estos esfuerzos, pues se está haciendo lo mejor que se puede. Dice, por ejemplo, hay una escuela primaria que se llama Sierra, donde los niños tienen muchas habilidades con el tacto, o sea, con las manos. Entonces se trata de desarrollarles, además de que aprendan todas las materias básicas, ¿no? De matemáticas, lectura y todo lo demás, también tienen que sentir atracción a la escuela, y si buscamos algo que les atraiga y donde puedan ocupar sus habilidades, pues va a ser un verdadero éxito. Dice, por ejemplo, como yo, a mí me gustaba más que nada el jazz y me gusta todo lo que hago, pero sin duda alguna el tocar un instrumento para mí era lo más importante, y le digo que todavía se puede ir a tocar el instrumento en la noche. There are so many problems that we confront, no, with the students. Like, for example, we see a lot of foster children,
Right.
a lot of children that need additional support. The houses are dysfunctional for so many reasons: drugs, alcohol, domestic violence.
Right.
It's like a huge problem, an individual problem, because not all the children are the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine how difficult it is to try to help all those students
Right.
to go ahead. How do you do that?
I think one of the critical piece is we have to build relationship with our families. Trust is so critical. We can have all the resources, but if our families or students don't feel connected, and that is one of the things that Dr. Go and I, when we were looking at our Youth Truth data, it clearly identified both our family and our students, they don't feel connected, they don't feel engaged. Okay, when they don't have that, they don't trust us. They don't reach out to us. So our goal is not just to educate our student, but to build connections with our family, to build partnership, true partnership, where they come in. We sometimes become learners. They become our teachers. They teach us about their community and the need, what their needs are. So it's really critical that that has to be done in a way that our families, our students are open, are willing to share, because then we can truly provide that support to our family. So trust to me is so critical, because we can have the resources, but if they don't trust us to share that information, we won't be able to address their needs.
Le estaba yo comentando de todos los problemas que vemos de tipo social y económico alrededor de los niños, ¿no? Vemos que hay aquí en el Valle del Antílope muchos niños que son foster, que viven separados de sus familias, de sus padres, y hay otros muchos problemas de drogas, alcohol, problemas económicos, problemas sociales, etcétera. Digo que cómo hacen para resolver eso. Dicen, bueno, pues efectivamente lo que estamos tratando es de crear una relación con las familias. La clave es que nos tengan confianza, porque ya tenemos los recursos, podemos tener los recursos, pero si los padres no nos platican de cuáles son los problemas que ellos confrontan, los recursos se van a quedar sin usar. Necesitamos que nos tengan absoluta confianza para que entre todos podamos educar a sus hijos de la mejor manera. Hay que construir una sociedad entre los padres y los maestros y la comunidad para que puedan salir adelante. So,
Can I add something to that?
please.
So I want to because we look at because you mentioned a lot of different what could be issues you could consider barriers. These pieces that we talk about sometimes the and I think in our district it's a little different than in some other districts in terms of families. I think like truly the families in Lancaster School District I think are some of the best human beings and best families in the world. They're some of the hardest, most resilient people that have existed. I would say between this city of Lancaster has got some of the strongest people that I mean I've lived in Palmdale, Lancaster. I really can't say too much, but from these cities that I've lived in the Antelope Valley, these people are very resilient people when things go south. I think that one of the things that we really got to keep the focus on is yes, the family, but then all the opportunities we have. When we see a student who is foster, that doesn't mean that they don't have a family on their side. There's somebody who's at home who loves and cares and wants to see the best for them. And even the people who may have failed them in the past are still people who really love and care, who really want to see the best for you have to assume that they want to see the best for that kid because we want to see the best for the community. And I think that that's something we really have to harness. And that's the purpose behind the community schools, is saying that, like, look, that kid might have that issue of being a homeless student, or that kid might be currently experiencing homelessness, or currently experiencing being a foster student, or currently might be a language learner, or currently might be this, that, the other million other things that we can talk about in terms of the pieces that we talk about. I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I'm passionate about this particular piece, but we got to consider the fact that those same kids in 20 years are going to be our leaders in the community. And we have to be able to provide them with the opportunities, right? I mean, they're going to be the leaders, the people that are going to be, they're going to be our mayors, our Lilia Galindos, who are sitting back and who are speaking the words and the beauty. They're going to be the principals, the directors, the assistant superintendents, and the superintendents of school districts. And we really have to, I really feel that the resilience is solid, but even more so is that we have an opportunity to really build more of those skills. And I think that's what he's so great about, in being able to identify those pieces outside of the school day to be able to make that happen. Sorry about that. I'm
Maybe
passionate
we
there.
are going to have the next president. No, not the next, but the president of the United States.
He's here.
The 5-woman president of the United States. No,
Yes,
they're here.
Estamos hablando rápidamente, amigos, antes de irnos al corte. El doctor Goines dice que la gente, los padres del distrito escolar de Lancaster son realmente personas muy resistentes y muy comprometidas para ayudar a que sus hijos salgan adelante. Son una de las personas más fuertes, y dice que le da mucho gusto que pueda tener la oportunidad de trabajar con ellos, y aunque algunos niños estén pasando unas situaciones diferentes o más difíciles que otros, de todos modos ahí están sus familias, aunque no vivan con ellos, tratando de lograr lo mejor para ellos. Y es el esfuerzo de todo el distrito escolar de Lancaster apoyar a todos los niños, porque van a ser los niños que conduzcan el futuro de esta ciudad y de este Valle del Antílope y a lo mejor más allá. Bueno, vamos